Hello, I'm the Reverend Tricia Hart, Developmental Senior Minister of this First Unitarian Universalist Society of Burlington. And this is my last video update to you as I approach the end of my developmental ministry here in Burlington.
And I'm Reverend Karen G. Johnston, your incoming senior minister, and this is my first video update for you.
It seemed like a good idea when Reverend Karen and I talked about this to make this update together in this time in between as one minister gets ready to leave and another minister gets ready to arrive. My last Sunday in the pulpit will be June 11th, though I will be finishing up a number of things and hanging around, so you may see me until July 14th or so.
And I will be starting on Tuesday, August 1st. And throughout the month of August, there'll be meetings, and I'll be around on Sundays, and even leading a few Sunday services in August. But the big, exciting beginning water in gathering on September 10th. So begin to gather your waters to be sure to bring them on that day.
So between now and then, oh, there is a lot happening here at FUUSB. So we just wanted to give you a few highlights today. This coming Sunday, June 4th, we will be recognizing a bunch of things during the service, including almost 30 people who have joined the congregation this year. It's a pretty amazing number. We are also marking the end of a busy and evolving year of faith development programming for children and youth, and thanking all of the volunteers who have made all of it happen, as well as Erica and Margot. We are going to celebrate the congregation in general, actually, and as part of that, we will have flower communion. So bring your blossoms. If you don't know what water communion is, that's okay. Just bring something that's blooming, a weed, a leaf, it doesn't matter. And it's fine if you forget as well. Then on Sunday, June 11th, is my last time leading worship. And then, I don't know, there's something going on after that, but nobody will tell me anything about it. So you should probably be here.
Definitely. I don't think anyone wants to miss that thing, whatever it might be. No doubt an important part in the life of the congregation and the shared ministry you've had with Reverend Tricia. Summer services are going to happen every Sunday except for one, July 23rd. The building will be closed that week. We're going to have special guests, worship associates, staff even. So we'll be inside in July, outside during August, unless of course it rains. But keep an eye on the e-news and look out for the next steeple, which should have a whole schedule for the summer so you can refer to it.
And one more thing, the annual meeting, which is happening this year. Actually, it happened on Monday last year too, but it's doing that again on Zoom, Monday, June 12th. Everyone is welcome to be at the meeting. Only members are eligible to vote to elect new board members and members of the nominating committee, and to vote on the budget.
Speaking of that vote, I want to thank you, Reverend Tricia, for sending to me the letters that the board put together with their bold vision for this budget. What do you think of this?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was a little surprised and really pleased by what the board decided. It was clear from the discussion that they had, the deep discussion at the May board meeting. It's clear that the board is fully committed to fully funding this congregation's programs and staff, even though it's clear that that is going to require raising some more revenue. It feels to me, that decision feels to me like exactly the right way to support this congregation now. The whole congregation, the staff, the leadership teams, and all of you members and friends as you move together. Oh, and Reverend Karen too, as you move together in this next chapter of your shared ministry.
Well, I so appreciate the way in which you have have companioned and ministered to this congregation. And I'm looking forward to partnering with the board and the whole congregation in the coming year to figuring out, listening for the opportunities as they emerge to live into this bold vision, and also, frankly, to have some joy and to have some fun while we do it. I hear that the eclipse is going to be passing over Burlington exactly, and I think that's an amazing opportunity.
It is. I certainly plan to be paying attention and to be somewhere nearby so that I can be there too. It is going to be a great year, I believe. I just want to mention while we're here a couple of things about this bold vision of the board. What they approved and are recommending to the congregation, because that's the way it works. The board recommends it and the congregation votes to approve a budget. And what they've sent out with the warning for the meeting is a balanced budget, which means that the income number and the expenses number are equal. They've also made sure that the general fund, the bank balance, which needs to be available to cover any unexpected shortfall, that's in good shape too. So a couple of people have asked me, so $47,000, that's a lot of money. Does the board expect that the pledge line in the budget will go up by $47,000? And the answer to that is no, that we do not expect that. We do expect, because it's already begun, that number to go up to some extent, because there will be some new pledges and some additions to pledges that currently exist. But it will also come from one-time gifts from members and others. It will come, we hope and imagine, from increased building use revenues and rental income and fundraisers, perhaps for the eclipse and maybe other things too. I think the point that I'm hearing the board say, and I agree with them, is there will be ideas that we can't yet imagine. And our job, in part, is to just listen carefully for them and support those ideas as much as we can.
I'm a big fan of listening for emergence and paying attention. So that is great to hear. And given the multiple octopus hearts and multiple octopus brains of the congregation, I can totally see this congregation with this full vision living into its mission, the mission to grow, to seek, to care, and to act.
Yeah, I really actually appreciate the fact that you've identified those 4 verbs in the mission statement. So that was a gift to me that I've already begun to use. Something came up this past week that I thought was also an idea that hadn't even occurred to me. It turns out that the Richard Kemp Center, that new Community Resource Center, sponsored, it's a project of the Vermont Racial Justice Alliance. And this congregation made a big gift to support the Richard Kemp Center when it was just opening. They are trying to raise just over $10,000 right now, because if they do, by July 7th, the match will come from the state 2 to 1. So they will have over $30,000, which they really need to add to that building's safety and beauty and security and some of their programming. And the question came to me, well, can we even bring that up at the same time that we're asking people to think about giving more to their congregation, to this congregation? And I thought about it for about a minute or less and said, actually, I think this is exactly the right time to bring it up. Because what we're really asking people to do is to think about how each of us, because of our gifts and because of our resources, actually has a variety of ways of making change in the world, of making a difference. And why should we think of them separately? I certainly wouldn't want to separate the congregation and its importance from the work in the community that the congregation is supporting. So I'm delighted to have both happening at the same time.
Well, it sounds to me, just from your description of it, is that given that the congregation adopted the eighth principle, that this is a community-based way to be able to live into accountably dismantling systems of oppression, including racism, right? And doing that, building the multicultural beloved community that we dream about. And so it seems like a win-win situation.
It does. It does. Exactly right.
I can tell you like that it's just powerful to think about those two things as generative together rather than in competition with each other. And I feel even more of a sense of privilege to be able to know that I am coming to be this congregation's senior minister, especially following the really powerful and solid and loving ministry that you have brought to them, Reverend Tricia. It's a gift to me and a gift to the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Karen. The joy and excitement about your impending arrival has not dissipated. It's people are very excited about your coming. They're excited about the future of this congregation, as they have every reason to be. So that's all a good thing. And I want to say that it has really and truly been both a privilege and an honor for me to serve this congregation in these last 4 tumultuous, unprecedented, amazing years. I have learned a lot about ministry in these, thousands of decades that I've been doing this. And I learned from congregations, and this particular congregation has taught me a great deal about joy and faith and creativity and looking ahead with faith and expectation. So thank you all for being the congregation that we both are honored to serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you.